Yo guys, so I just thought I'd make a quick kind of how to put a catch-up video in a way, which is, it's been about 4 months, near enough, since Rangnick joined United, and it's basically just me going through how I think he's done. Has he lived up to the expectations? Have we improved? So yeah, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you guys is, now this stat is 3 games behind, but it's the only one I can find really that kind of represents Ollie versus Rangnick. But it's very misleading in a way, because it doesn't really show the kind of state we're in. You'll see that in a minute, the way Rangnick wants to play and kind of how the players aren't adjusting to it. But so Ollie had 17 games this season. Rangnick has 15 now, but it says 12. 1.6 goals, 1.3, 14.8, 15.9 shots. Now, that's a good representation. We take more shots, but we've less goals. And I think that shows that it might not be entirely his fault, and that he's coaching the players to do the right thing. It's up to them to finish it. More shots on target, slightly. As you can see, players aren't taking their chances. Crosses, more crosses. Again, more crosses. Corners, more corners on average. Possession, more possession. Games won, 50%, 41%. I think that's gone up now, ever since that, by a bit. Now, that could be misleading. 50% win rate looks a bit dodgy. But people have to understand with Rangnick that he's come into a lazy team that have just been, how do I put it, have a mediocre start to the season. They're mid-table. Nobody's really putting any effort in. They don't press. The attitudes are shocking. There's a divide in the dressing room. We have to consider that. Now, I'm going to get onto how to put it, stats to show that the players aren't playing for him at the moment, and that he's trying to implement his playing style, but people aren't, how to put it, people aren't putting the work in. Now, this is a panel showed by Sky Sports of United under Rangnick, and it kind of proves players aren't putting any effort in or anything really. So obviously league stats per game. Under Leipzig, he had them pressing, had them putting challenges in, having pressing the ball, putting challenges in. Obviously, again, recoveries as you can see there, errors, not barely any goals conceded. Again, barely any. Now, I understand the Bundesliga is a completely different league than the Premier League, but you have to understand that having the least amount of tackles in the league is absolutely shocking. For the amount of goals we've conceded, shots we concede a game, David De Gea having to class out of it in a way, it kind of shows that the players aren't doing the job properly in the defence. I think Rafael Varane gets excluded from that. I think Delo, he gets cut out a lot at the moment. I think he's ultimately better than Wamsaka in the long term and the short term. Just he's not living up to what everyone thought he'd be at, in my opinion. Obviously he's a solid right back. There's still a few tweaks that we need to see in this game. Maguire, enough said about him. Luke Shaw, I think he's been dodgy lately. I think Tellez, again, defensively, he's not good enough in my opinion. And it just kind of goes back to like many things. So successful pressures you can see there. Again, Rangnick saying in press conferences many times he wants his team to be pressing. 19 successful pressures, absolutely shocking. And I think that just boils down to people not wanting to run. Like, you kind of see Bruno pressing, you see Sancho pressing at times, but then the rest are just, you could just tell they don't want to press. Like, it annoys me a lot because you could tell by the way some of the players are pressing that they're being told to press, and then pressure's finally hard again. Shot interceptions, shocking. That we're not winning enough 50-50s, we're not winning enough, how to put it, corners in a way. Recoveries, again, same thing. Errors, 20. Opposition are obviously, how to put that, the other team's errors that are leading to our goals, aka you get that from pressing. Again, United don't do that. Goals conceded 18 since he's joined. I really don't think it's his fault. I think it's just the defence, and I think I have another stat to kind of show that he has done okay since he joined, and there is improvement. I have a little panel here I made just to show, and I can kind of tell now that the goals scored has conceded is wrong, because I was going off a couple of websites, but they counted the Middlesbrough United matches penalties as goals and goals conceded. So we have to take away immediately United have actually scored 22 goals, but have only conceded 11 since he joined, which still every 2 goals scored by United is they concede 1, which is not awful. It just kind of in a way not what we'd be expecting with the talent United have, especially with Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford. You'd be expecting more goals, but to be fair, we do create a lot of chances, and I think we don't take those chances, as we've seen in stats earlier. Obviously, points obtained in Premier League out 36, 23. I think that's a steady improvement from Ollie, to be honest. I think United are just getting better at the moment under Rangnick, and you kind of see that. Goals per game, 1.46. Yeah, that's fair enough stat. I added it up because obviously, you know what I mean. Yeah, no, I've got a few things wrong here. I noticed it's obviously not 22. You know what I mean, guys. And then points per match is 1.93. Now that's a big stat to look at. So is that an awful stat? Oh, I wouldn't say so. I think it's again steady improvement. So basically, any 3 points we can obtain, we attain 2. But look forward to this Atletico match, and this obviously the Man City match in March, the Liverpool match in March, and the other leg of the Atletico match. I'd like to see that, because we need to see Rangnick challenge, see if see if he's actually improved us, which I think he has, or are we just the same we were under Ollie? And I think, look, I'll put this out now. If Rangnick did win the Champions League, I'd have to say you'd have to keep him on as permanent manager, without a doubt. It just a matter of fact, because he'd be the first manager to win a trophy of that calibre since obviously Sir Alex Ferguson left. But yeah, so obviously Pochettino's been a candidate as well, so I'm just going to kind of show him. Obviously they're weird comparison in a way, but kind of shows how many matches they've both played in their career and who's more wins, etc. Now, understand these stats may be very misleading, but kind of gives us broad scope on how well both managers have done in the amount of games they've played. Obviously, Rangnick having nearly 100 more games played than Pochettino, obviously, but having 30. I'm trying to add this up as I go along, lads. Yeah, 50, probably around 56 more wins than him, but in over 100 more matches. Obviously, having only 15 more losses and 24 more draws, but 200 more goals than Pochettino, which is a big stat to show as well. Obviously conceded 820 though, so I think that kind of both around the same win percentage, just 1% difference really. And I think that kind of shows that Rangnick's teams normally are attacking teams. They're on the front foot, and they do concede the odd goal, and it's not always because you score a lot you don't concede. So I think that's kind of like United fans shouldn't really expect a sure up tight defence where you get a clean sheet every game under Rangnick. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of get to the roundup. Now, the big question is, has Rangnick improved us since joining? I think the main thing I'd say is yes. Will he improve us in the long term? I think in the long term we'll get top 4. I don't think we'll win Champions League. I think people are actually think we might. I think we could potentially get to the semis. Who knows? Don't think we'll win it, and I think ultimately that's a good season under the circumstances for Rangnick now. Not for United, for Rangnick, considering that he had to clean up the dressing room, steady the ship, and just finish the job, really, get top four. That's all he can really do. So overall, has Rangnick improved United? Yes. Right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and see ya.